Hey strangers, today is March 6th, 2015, which means it I have been on testosterone for 7 months, which is a lot later than I was supposed to be talking to the camera again, but alright. So, 6 months rolled around, and the day of, my boyfriend was visiting, so I didn't do it, because I was otherwise occupied, and, I meant to just do it a little late, and then the whole last month went by, and I was like, alright, I guess we're doing this for 7 months instead. So 7 months on testosterone. And so I just watched my 20-week one to make sure I knew where I last left off with changes and stuff, and a lot of stuff has happened. Oh my god, especially in like the last couple weeks. So I'm actually really glad that I ended up putting this off and ended up having like more to talk about. Because I feel like there wasn't a lot right at 6 months, but then like a lot of stuff has happened in the last few weeks. So anyways, going right into physical changes in relation to testosterone, I've definitely, like, the muscle mass increase has become noticeable. It's, like, changing the way that I fit into clothes. I've had to get rid of a couple pairs of pants, and, there's a couple t-shirts that are gonna have to go soon because my shoulders and my arms are too big for them now. So, I know that this is pretty form-fitting. Not that you can really see through, but anyways, and another side effect of the muscle growth is actually my binders. I can't wear as small a size as I used to because they're too tight, and they make it uncomfortable and kind of painful to breathe even. So that meant having to just do away with 2 of my binders. Thankfully, I had one more in a larger size because I've been dealing with some money strain and haven't been able to afford another one to replace either of those yet. But anyways, so yeah, if you're somebody who actually exercises and you go on testosterone, be wary of when your binder size will go up. Um, Other stuff is facial hair growth. Like, you can't see anything on video, but like it was like right after 6 months. I was like 6 months was like still kind of just, some on the hair and just a couple stray scraggly hairs on the chin. And then I went to Katsucon and I came back and it was like bam, all of a sudden I had like a bunch of dark hairs on my chin, and like I've actually been kind of trying to let the chin hairs grow just so I can see what's there, but I'm still shaving the mustache, and I actually have ended up shaving under here. Even if you can't see it, I can feel it and it's uncomfortable for me. um, I've been shaving that like 2 or 3 times a week now, so it's growing in a little faster. And under here I've been noticing, like, I don't know if this is actually very new, but like it's been growing. I don't know if it's just because the rest of my hair is longer. Yeah, my hair's gotten pretty long since the last time I did this too. Um, Anything else physical changes in terms of testosterone? I don't know if my voice is any deeper. I haven't like recorded it to compare it to the last one. Maybe it is. You guys will be able to tell yourselves. Um, alright, so physical changes. Alright, so life changes relating to transition in testosterone. I have gotten all the stuff from that whole modeling deal is like settled and in place. I'm going to be starting that. The last Saturday of March is going to be my first day of courses, which is a little nerve-wracking and close than I wanted it to be, but especially in terms of affording it. But work is just picking up again, so hopefully it will all kind of even out. But I'm just trying to afford and my Boston and car insurance and gas and everything right now too. So I'm nervous that I'm not going to be able to go through with the courses, which is a bummer because once I get through the courses and actually start doing the modeling, that's going to be another form of income, which will be really, really awesome. Um, and on the subject of work, so we were between sessions, because we do like a winter or a fall session, and then we do like a winter-spring session of the after-school program, and so the first session ends like in February, and then the next one picks up like right after the February break that public schools tend to have. And so, like the first week of that, I like sent an email to all the office people, or well, not all the office people, but the 2 that I've talked to most frequently, my boss and the big secretary woman who's actually been there the longest. And I was like, I just want to clarify, like, this is what was on my identification, blah, 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 and I actually would prefer to be referred to as this. And, I like, I sent it like 10 minutes before the office closed one day, and I was like, oh my god, I should have sent it earlier. I meant to send it earlier. I got really busy that day. And, I got a response back like minutes later from my boss, like just this super like, oh, I'm just really bummed that you didn't tell us earlier and we wholeheartedly accept you. And it was just like this overwhelming feeling of like, I don't know, like I don't cry anymore, but I get like this feeling of like I should be crying right now sort of thing. It's hard to explain. But I had that feeling in response that like the relief was just so much and I was just so glad that it went over so well. And I go into the work meeting that we had the next day, and so the boss like comes over and shakes my hand. He's like, "Oh, you know, like all us guys are gonna like have a couple cigars and a couple drinks without the girls." And today I just went up to him to talk to him about swapping some kits and stuff, and he looks at me and goes, "Yes, sir." And I was like, it's just really, really nice that this went over so well, and like I'm having children ask me if I'm a boy or a girl, and I have no qualms about telling them that I'm a boy. Like, yes, one of my classes is in a Catholic school, and there's a bunch of children, and one of them's like, I don't want to be mean, but are you a boy or a girl? And you know, I'm a boy. Thank you for asking. And I just think it's really, really cute that they're so worried about offending me. But it also kind of makes me a little sad because why should somebody be offended about being asked how they prefer to be referred to? But I suppose I can like understand why. Is like some people will think it's obvious that they show this way. Like I mean obviously I don't try that hard to look male. I do kind of like a semi-feminine sort of androgynous whatever appearance, just because that's my personal preference. And so I understand that I'm not always going to be perceived as male, especially now that my hair is getting longer and the way that I treat it and all that stuff. And yeah, so I don't know, it's just really, really cute to have these kids like asking me to be sure, and like it was kind of refreshing. Um, so yeah, work's going great. School's going good. Surprisingly, I usually hate school. I'm in a relationship now, have been for a little over a month, and he's pretty awesome. And okay, so related to transition, otherwise I would not mention this because this is a super stress point right now. I was trying to go to England with my family for spring break. My brother's studying abroad, and you know my parents were gonna like pay for all my travel and everything, which is like why I decided to go instead of stay home and work. Um, and so I get all my passport stuff and I get it all sent out, and like I just got a letter like earlier this week that because my gender marker on my birth certificate still says female, I'm supposed to have a letter from a medical professional that I work with that my gender is what I say it is on the form, even though my license says that it's male. So you would think like I had to get a special form slash letter for that, so that doesn't count. But anyway, so they send this as a letter, and it arrives the day that my gender therapist leaves on vacation, so I can't just run out to her and get a letter quick. So and then there was the whole problem of, okay, how do I get it to the passport people fast enough that it gets processed in time and I get the passport back? And so I called the passport people. They told me I had to set up an appointment because otherwise it was going to take 5 days for a letter to get processed if I sent it through snail mail. And so snail mail was not an option because 5 business days later was about when we're supposed to be leaving. So I ended up setting an appointment. I have to drive all the way out to Boston, and the first appointment they had available that worked for me was Tuesday, early afternoon. The other ones on Monday conflicted with work, and so I tried getting in touch with my primary care about getting a letter written, and they were supposed to get back to me, and they haven't called me back, and it's been 2 days, and it's already after close today by the time that I realized that, oh, I was supposed to call today. So hopefully I can call and get in touch tomorrow, because otherwise I'm basically screwed and I'm not going to England anymore, which is a super bummer. But a word to the wise, if you're transgender and applying for a passport, that's something you should know you have to do, is make sure if all your identification doesn't line up with what you're trying to get on your passport, make sure you talk with your gender therapist or your primary care or your endocrinologist or basically any licensed physician that works with you that is gender friendly, so to speak. Make sure they just write a statement to the passport people that has to be signed and dated, and you send it in with all your other passport stuff. So And another thing that I had to send in because my birth certificate and my current identification have different names on them. You have to send your change of name paperwork too, and it has to be like an official copy with like the stamp on it. So if you have to go to the court or whatever for that. So hopefully anybody else that tries for a passport learns from my mistakes and doesn't have their trip canceled last minute after they worked really hard to try and get there. On that note, this video is getting really long, and I don't think I have anything else to talk about anyway, so I'll stop talking all your ears off. So happy 7 months to me. I'm going to be uploading this a day late for some reasons. I don't remember what they are right now, but anyways, hopefully I will remember to, because my boyfriend's going to be visiting again tomorrow. Funny how that works. Anyways, that's all I got for today. I may make an addendum if I think of more stuff that I think is important that you guys should hear in a timely manner. But probably not, because I don't know how many people actually care about my transition in my life anyways. So, that all being said, thank you all for watching. This has been 7 months on testosterone with my Kaya. Goodbye.